I just got back from food shopping. And I don't know, have you ever been like somewhere, you see a stranger or something, and there's something about them that you don't like? And for me, I say to myself, you don't even know this person. That's not right to take a dislike to them. But it's something about the way like they're moving too slow, their demeanor, you know, maybe they're oblivious to like you need to get by or, I don't know. I don't know whatever it is, but that just sort of got me thinking. All right, I'm drinking coffee. Cheers. Mm. Oh, am I getting things out of order here? Yeah, I'm a little out of sorts. Last Sunday, I recorded two Fez nights, two long ones, and neither one of them the sound would sync. And I even ran my backup camera, and it ran out of memory. Uh, so maybe it's telling me not to make them so long. So I'm going to try a little bit of a workaround. I hope it works this time. I don't know. I've been making little test movies using the QuickTime rather than the iMovie directly. And I've had good luck so far, but I don't know. Now that I've time to record a Fez, I'm sure that'll come out. Oh, I found my hat. I thought I lost this. This is like my favorite cap these days. And yeah, who cares? Time to don the Fez. Oh. Greetings, fellow citizens. This is Citizen Kong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Tonight's Fez Night shall be called All You Can Fez. Yeah, all you can fez, and that's all you can fez. Drink some more coffee. It's later in the day than I've been posting these Fez nights in the past, the ones that I do get around to posting. First of all, I want to give a toast to Doc Rusty, wherever you are. A man smart enough to know not to have anything, he was smart enough to know that he should not have anything to do with the NOE or Network of Evil. Here's to you, Doc Rusty, wherever you are. I hope you're a success in your comedy and writing. Cheers. And I want to give a shout out, a shout out to Mary Beth Israel, one of the new characters that has appeared in our little section of the pond here on YouTube. Part of the pond that I swim around and the other goofballs swim around. Mary Beth Israel. Yeah, according to her profile, she lives in San Diego. She says that she's been in the Navy for 16 years. And yet, and she finds time to be a classical cellist and work with dolphins. And I asked her a question, though. Does she work for dolphins in the Navy? And I suspect it's Andy, the troll there, said it was creepy that I was grilling her. I was just a question, She said she loves dolphins and she's in the Navy. And the Navy works with dolphins. Yeah, they attach bombs to them and have them swim under ships and explode, blow themselves up. And then there's those other experiments the Navy's using with a sonar where it puts out these pulses and noises and it drives the animals crazy and causes whales to beach themselves and dolphins to kill themselves. I don't know. There's some suspicion because they did these high-tech sonar tests and whales and dolphins were beaching themselves. So, but Mary Beth, if you do live in San Diego, well, you say you do. I was going to say, watch out for Timmy, Cyber9 Rounder. If you give out too much information about yourself, he'll track you down and stalk you. And one more question. After living in Southern California, why in the world would you want to live in Florida? Unless you're going to move to Miami, I could understand. But the rest of Florida, I guess Miami's kind of cool. They got, the Cubans and the Jews and stuff. But the rest of it's all like rednecks and alligators, isn't it? Oh, there I go, stereotyping again. Isn't it kind of like that movie Deliverance? Did that take place in Florida? I want to give a shout out to Barfly Brooks. Thank you for recommending Game of Thrones. I really, really enjoyed that. Um, yeah, it was really, really excellent production values, and I'll admit it was a little bit took me a little while to get into the story because it's so complicated with all these families and everything and these kingdoms. But the first season ended on a really, really good note, and I started watching the last season of True Blood, and Suki gets together with Eric, the enemy vampire, and I'm thinking, Suki, you're such a slut. After all you and Vampire Bill went through. Oh, jeez. I think I mentioned I was enjoying that show Breaking Bad because it takes place in my home state, New Mexico, and I'm really, really getting a kick out of that. And I know for some of us. See, for me, I avoided watching that show because I don't like any shows that depict tweakers, especially movies where they sort of depict them in sort of a romantic or sort of adventurous kind of way. But Breaking Bad, I relate to it on several levels. Plus, it's just New Mexico photographed so beautifully. Those skies, just amazing. Um, yeah. Oh, and they shot Breaking Bad on 35 millimeter film, by the way, which is very, very unique for modern television. I still say in the digital age, you just can't beat the look of film, of actual film. I hope regular film stays around for a long time. I know I quit using it. Oh, by the way, I think I'm getting ready to post some my photography. Like I said, I mentioned before, or did I? I must have images on negatives and slides stored away, and I would like to go through. Thank, Thankfully, I didn't sell my light table. I still have my light table, so I can look at this stuff and then maybe pick out some of the better images and scan them. But I've got some images that I saved on my hard drive for quite a while back, and I'll probably post those. And like my metalsmithing video, I'm sure one of my haters will take the audio, and put pictures up of gay porn, probably man-on-man action. They took my metalsmithing video, took the audio, and posted sculptures of penises and stuff. And I'll admit, it got under my skin. It took. I haven't. I went a long time on YouTube without posting any images of the work that I've done in the past. It's been a long. I'll admit, it's been a long time since I finished a metal piece. I think the last metal piece I finished was probably about almost 2 years ago, before I lost my job. Some would think, oh, you had plenty of time to work on that stuff while you're unemployed. No, I have to be in a good place to do it, to do good work. You know, it's all like the writer's block. The creativity. And for those of you that aren't creative, you don't understand. You think it's like a switch you turn on and off, and for many of us, it isn't that way. And so I sort of got a sense of who the cretins are, people that don't appreciate it. I mean, it got under my skin. It's sort of like my work is like I'm a single man. I don't have any children. As an artist, my work is kind of like my children in a way. And I know, maybe I'm being overly sensitive, but it's like, I don't know, it's just like something to laugh at. I take that very seriously, to laugh at my art. If it's another artist offering some constructive criticism or saying something where you could have done that, or your influence, like say the spoon, for example, that wasn't terribly original. But I like clean lines, especially when it comes to silver. And But I would like to say that most of the other work was fairly original as far as a metal piece goes, and I just think being mocked about my work, uh, yeah, and people that, yeah, I saw who commented. I think those people that, I mean, really, even if they don't like me, if they truly appreciate art, they would give me my due, you know. Otherwise, they're just cretins. They don't understand. They just don't. They just don't understand the suffering and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. Of course, just mere painters and people. No, I won't go into that. There's definitely a whole. It's a different discipline doing metalwork completely, because you not only have to be able to work with tools, work with your hands, and understand like heat and melting and la la la, and you kind of have to have a little muscle to work the hammer, and it's a much different discipline. And then when you go beyond just making a simple teapot or copying things that you see in everyday life, which is like a lot of craftsmen do, they make furniture, they basically copy some other piece of furniture. But when you design something that's unique, that's like no other, and somebody even questioned whether that was my work, find it on the internet. Find where I stole those images. I'm going to make accusations, back it up. Anyway, so I might still post some of my photography. This is my photography on the wall up here. And for years and years, I started printing photographs when I was, maybe I'll save it for the video, but I started printing, I got my first camera when I was 5 years old, you know, an old Brownie reflex. And I started printing my own photographs in 7th grade. And so, yeah, photography's been a big part of my life, my whole life. And then, of course, when I post those pictures and they rip the audio and put pictures of gay porn on there, you're gonna hurt me again. But you won't stop me. No, you won't. Somebody said, oh, speaking of photography, I want to give a tip of the Fez to Andy for her Photoshop skills, where she took that photograph from the 80s, because obviously, you know, the cap on backwards and the off-the-shoulder shirt, you know, Flashdance, a la Flashdance, it's obviously taken in the 80s, and how she sort of photoshopped it and gave it some sort of update, and her other photoshopping skills on her backdrop and everything. Yeah, you know, you took years off your image there, and it's a shame you can't use the same effects on your video, you know, in a video, because you can see the one vlog that you did and make a comparison side by side. Somebody did that on their channel. You don't look like that anymore, no. But I have to say, you once were quite fetching. Yeah. If you could pull those same effects in a video, then I'm sure you would vlog all the time. Somebody was saying that supposedly I'm supposed to eat crow. Who said that? Was it Delisa? That I'm supposed to eat? Why? Why would I eat crow? Does it have something to do with Z Moulton coming to Ocean Beach, and somehow because he appeared in a video with Timmy, that's supposed to reflect bad on me? I mean, this is what actually happened. Timmy would not make an appearance when Z gave him the heads up. Now this is a thing about Timmy, and you watch his videos where he interacted with me and where he interacted in Z Moulton. He is so, there's something about him that is very, very small, where he must be in control. And you can tell he tries to dominate on camera. He won't let the other person get in edgewise, and he does this very, 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 very fast talking. Now, a person that is truly at ease with themselves doesn't need to be pushing the other person aside. They let the person be themselves, because you're not intimidated by that, by somebody having their own time. And so it's one thing to notice about that. So because Z came to town on his own terms, Timmy wasn't going to play. So he didn't show up. He didn't make an appearance. He avoided him. He basically stayed off the streets. And then Z went back up to Los Angeles, and then came back down to Ocean Beach with his travel companion, because his travel companion, Z came back with this like report about Ocean Beach, and he said, "Oh well, let's both swing down there." And Z happened to run into Timmy on the street. Now, if you don't, and that's when they made that video, and it was almost a full week later, and it was just such a sight. And then Timmy calling me Citizen Fail. You still can't. you still have to take a poke. Timmy, you were the one that just wouldn't show up. Okay. So if you don't believe me, ask Z Moulton. Ask him yourself. I don't want him to get inundated by PMs or anything, but so yeah, a real quick thing about what was going on my channel. I posted a moveon.org video, and I got a reaction from a cretin, person that doesn't appreciate art, person that thinks it's funny when somebody else's art or his life's work is ridiculed. He thinks it's amusing. Came by and called it propaganda. And sure, why not? Propaganda, good propaganda is based on some truth. And it wasn't the whole video, the facts or anything that I was concerned with. What the whole deal was. Basically, it dealt with the subject. There was the Republican debate. One of the reporters or whatever conducting the debate asked Ron Paul about some guy that didn't have health insurance, and said something about what do you think, we should just let him die? And people in the audience were like, yeah. That's why I posted the video, because I think it was very telling about the mindset of those people on the right, the people in the GOP. It's all about it's me. I've got mine, screw the other guy. That's the whole difference between, they call us bleeding heart liberals, because it's a Christ-like reference. The idea that we care about other people, not just ourselves. And the conservatives see that as a sign of weakness. Okay? Well, fine. Being the nice guy, yeah, usually you do finish last. You do get ridiculed. People do perceive you as being weak when you try to be nice. But it's just cold-hearted. It's cold-hearted that those people shout with glee, "Let him die." And that's why I posted the video. That was the only part that concerned me. And whether it's propaganda or not, you can't change that happened. Okay? You can't change that. The other thing is, apparently on the second Republican debate that came up, a military guy, a soldier, who basically came out of the closet because of the change in policy. My tassel. Because of the change in policy about the don't ask, don't tell. And he basically got booed. Oh, and I don't remember who they were interviewing. Was it Perry? I don't know. I've got the video somewhere, but I don't want to look it up right now. But it's one of those guys, one of those nominees. Doesn't matter who. But, well, maybe, yeah, I guess it does. But this guy was saying that the military is not a social experiment, that all these people should just go back in the closet, la, 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 la. Well, see, the guy, this is the other thing about being conservative. Most people that are educated, well, I'm saying most. There's a lot of conservative people in colleges, but not as many as there are liberals. And when you're educated, you tend to know a little bit about history, you know a few things. And he said the military is not a social experiment. It's all about defending the country. Well, where were you, or in history class, when they were talking about the Tuskegee Airmen and different things where the military adopted the policy of accepting Negroes, accepting black people in the military, and then actually giving them rank and actually letting them fight. step by step. I mean, they weren't allowed to fight when they first went in. I talked to an old black gentleman that worked in the motor pool during World War II. He wasn't allowed to fight, but he was a mechanic. He worked on trucks. And but eventually, those things happened, and it happened in the military even faster than it did in civilian life. And that's what you need to look at. If there's going to be social change, I'm not a big pro-military guy. I would probably do terrible in the military. But I would have to say that's one of the positive things about the military, is because you're told what to do. And if the higher ups say you're not going to discriminate against gays, you're going to have to accept that gay officer as your commander. That's an order. Or suffer the repercussions. You can't do that in civilian life, but you can do it in the military. Accept this black officer as your superior. Accept this gay officer as your superior. Yeah, no, social change does happen in the military. And this guy's an idiot for ignoring that. Anyway, all right, that's it. I have no idea how long this went, but hopefully the audio will be in sync. All right, this is Citizen Kong. Have a great week, and thank you for watching All You Can Fez. Cheers.